How's it going, people? It's Abyss Walker here, back at you again with another Destiny gameplay video. The gameplay you're going to be watching today is just me doing the Nightfall, sorry, with just a few guys that I found on LFG. So far, I'm liking the new strike. We did about 3 runs of it, finished them pretty quickly actually. As you'll see, this video is only like 11 minutes long, but we did it pretty good, and I got nothing. I got some gear, and that almost put me up to 320 light, but that's kind of besides the point. Today I wanted to talk about some ideas I had for like a alternate hunter subclass kind of thing. It's probably never gonna happen, but it's cool to think about these kind of things and their story implications. So let's get going. So the subclass is not necessarily going to be arc, void, or solar based, but rather the very darkness that the Hive wield, similar to the way Eris Morn does, and used because of a similar reason. You being in the throne world of Oryx and the Ascendant realms to, for one, kill Crota, and then secondly, to gather the essence of Crota's soul so you can enter the Ascendant realm, has corrupted your Guardian's light. And I imagine this would be a quest where, similar to the way Eris had to learn to control the like the darkness the way that the Hive do in order to survive, you'll need to do the same thing. Your light is corrupted, and in order to survive, you would need to figure out how to control it. So, I'll start with grenades. The first grenade choice is going to be, it'll throw a dark patch on the ground, and these dark patches, they'll kind of shoot spikes forward, almost like the flare grenade. It'll be like a dark patch and it'll shoot spikes forward starting at the patch. Secondly, there will be a grenade similar to the can't remember the grenade name, but the hunter grenade that in the Night Stalker class that isn't the spike grenade. It'll work similarly like that, but enemies standing inside it their health will be granted to the user of the grenade. Finally, the last grenade is going to be a grenade that can stick, and killing an enemy with this grenade will cause chain explosions, similar to Bloom on the Voidwalker class for the Warlock. For jumps, I got the idea for how Eris Morn is mistaken for a Warlock, and she's somewhat like a Warlock, but is indeed a hunter. So your jumps are glide to start out with. Then you have the choices to upgrade to focus control, focused burst, and then finally a blink. But this blink is slightly different. It has somewhat of a taken animation. I haven't fully worked that part out in my head, but I want it to be a little different just to kind of even things out a little bit. I just feel like that would be cool. Finally, to the super, the wielder of shadow. It'll work similar to the way the Sunsinger works. It's a self-buffing super. You'll gain an overshield and a one-shot melee, but instead of your abilities recharging faster, you will get increased handling, reload speed, and movement speed. Your upgrade choices for this are going to be activating your super will blind enemies around you. Killing enemies will drop dark patches similar to sunspots that'll damage enemies over time. They'll work like smoke grenades, whereas they get slowed and damaged over time. And finally, your super dying while in your super will allow you to temporarily self-res, not a permanent self-res. So after about 25, maybe 20 seconds, your character will die again. And I like the idea of the Sunsinger self-res, but I feel like it's a little ridiculous. I don't like the way it's used in trials a lot of the time, but that's not the point of the video. I see this as the darkness taking over your body just for a little bit longer until your body gives out so it can enact its will. Next, we're going to move on to melee. The melee is going to be like a dagger that's thrown out, similar to, if I have any Mortal Kombat fans out there, it'll be like Scorpions, get over here. it'll be a dagger that you'll throw out, and it'll damage enemies, and it'll bring them closer. I'm sorry, the first upgrade tree will be to bring them closer. As well as the second you'll bring them a little bit closer, you'll get some momentum towards you, but kills with this super, or melee, I'm sorry, will work like an energy drain, and it'll give the wielder health back. The next upgrade ability you have for your melee is that the melee can chain to hit multiple enemies, but these attacks won't pull. And then finally, you can stun enemies, and this won't pull as well. So your normal melee will pull, but an upgrade that isn't the health steal, it won't pull them towards you, and it's not a drastic pull. It'll be just a slight momentum towards you, just to kind of throw them off their game. Now, one of the even more unique things for a hunter is that this class can spec for armor and recovery. Now, let's move to the ability trees. So, ability 1 option is to, if you stand in the shadow patches created either by the shadow patch grenade or by kills from your super, will increase your gun damage. Also, another ability is activating, or you could have activating your super while near allies will grant them a shield. And finally, for that ability tree, rapid precision kills will return a small portion of the user's health. Kind of similar to the way Red Death will start regenerating your health. Finally, in ability tree 2, your rapid kills will increase your ability charges, or increased super duration. And finally, the most unique thing about this class that mixes some of the hunter's stealth with a little bit of my own creativity. Holding circle, or B for Xbox players, will allow you to turn into a shadow patch once a life. And when enemies run over you, you'll pop out and you'll stun them. So, what balances this is 1, this can be done once a life, and 2, if enemies notice you, they can still shoot you. This is kind of making yourself the trap, being one with the darkness, similar to the way Eris Morn would be. So, I think that this super would bring a lot of diversity that isn't necessarily in the hunter class. It plays on a lot of the hunters, just what the hunter is known for, as in with the shadow patches being a little bit of a stealth option. But it brings in some of the things that the hunter has never seen before. Something that can give him his health back. Something that can give the hunter just something that can revive the hunter after death, even if only shortly. And I think that if balanced correctly, could be a really powerful subclass for both PvP and PvE. Now, I plan on doing this for the other subclasses. My problem at the moment is, whereas I had a bit of a storyline set up for the hunter, whereas, you know, their light is corrupted. All of the stories are going to start out that way. I'm sorry if that's monotonous, but I'm just going on assumption here that other guardians other than hunters did the raids and whatnot. All of them are going to start with that, but the hunter branches off, whereas Eris Morn teaches you how. And my plan for the warlock is that Tolan the Shattered speaks to you, but I don't have any ideas for the warlock ability at the moment. Titan, I've got vague ideas for his abilities, but there aren't many Titans I know. I have one in mind if I want to stick with Eris's fire team, and maybe the Spirit of Veltarlo, but that would be pushing it. Whereas Eris Morn we know is alive. We know that Tolan the Shattered is alive, and he's also in Hive Netherworlds. So I feel like this could definitely work. And I feel like it'd bring a little bit more diversity into this. I know there's a common theory about the dark levels, and I feel like this would be a way to incorporate dark levels without just making it a rehash of something of the other abilities. I feel like it'd be a unique thing to bring into Destiny, because there's so much they can do. So, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. As always, feedback is welcome and encouraged. I've been really liking the feedback I've been getting on my videos, and it's really kept me motivated to do this. I'm having a lot of fun doing the YouTube channel. And just tell me what kind of content you guys want to see. If you guys want some, I'll mainly be sticking to Dark Souls 2 and Destiny at the moment, just to keep a little bit off my plate. But let me know what kind of content you guys want to see, and I'll like lore stuff or PvP stuff, and I'll try to deliver. So until the next video, take it easy.